Welcome, my beautiful people.
Welcome. Okay, so can I just say it's finally starting to behave like summer, and that makes me really excited.
That it's starting to behave. It's starting to look like summer.
It is. It has been
Summer!
so bipolar with the weather lately, at least here. But I got plants in the ground now, and they're happy and warm.
Plants in the ground. Plants in the ground.
I do. I'm going to grow, hopefully, orange watermelon, and I am so excited.
Wait, there's such thing as orange watermelon?
Uh-huh. And I've heard really good things about them, but they don't sell them in stores because they don't sell most variants of fruits in stores. So you have to grow them. And I'm going to attempt to grow them this year. If I do, I will share a video of cutting an orange watermelon with everyone on TikTok.
There we go. Orange watermelon.
Hope I succeed.
Orange watermelon. Orange watermelon. Orange watermelon. Now we have a song.
Well, it's always important to have songs about orange watermelon.
So there's been some news that he was found not guilty.
Oh, it was the guy from Tara Grinstead.
The guy that was against Tara Grinstead. Oh, God, what was his name?
Ryan Duke.
There we go.
Ryan Duke was found not guilty.
But he was, I don't know if you saw this, though.
Okay.
He did get the maximum sentence for concealing her death.
Oh, that is interesting.
So not for her murder, but knowing that about her death and concealing it.
Yeah, I don't know. That's so weird.
Interesting, right?
It is interesting.
I just said 4 hours ago that's brand new news. So you guys are hearing it first.
Oh, that's why I didn't know. I was sitting here like I hadn't heard that. Okay.
Yeah, 4 hours ago that has been released. Okay, I'm just going to read this on CNN's website here. So okay. I'm just going to read it as it is. So a judge has sentenced Ryan Duke after a jury found him guilty for concealing the death of Tara Grinstead, but not for her murder. He was sentenced to a maximum of 10 years on Monday. He is also, though, immediately eligible for parole.
What?
Yep.
Immediately?
Based on any time dude's already been served.
I'm not sure how I feel about that.
Confessed to killing her, and they're finding him not guilty?
Yeah, I don't understand.
What?
I don't know. I think
they said that all 5 of them said they're just convinced, hands down, that he's guilty of concealing her death, not actually murdering him. So then who would be then?
Do they think he's covering for someone? I don't know.
That's what it kind of sounds like.
Yeah, maybe.
That's kind of what this sounds like, is that he's covering for someone, or the guilt of hiding it for so long finally came out. I would say no. I would say it's because finally her case got attention.
Yeah, no kidding.
Could he be covering for someone else? Absolutely. But I just find that interesting. And now
I still think he had enough to do with it, though, even if someone else was involved.
He's automatically eligible for parole. So there's that.
Yeah, it's messed up.
Bullshit.
Yeah. Yeah. Tara Grinstead's probably rolling over in her grave.
Like, are you freaking kidding me?
Yeah. It's insane.
Yeah. So there's that.
Yeah.
And not to mention that the judicial system is so fucked up. I'll put it very mildly. I'll just say someone I know. This kid got sexually assaulted and nothing's going to be done of it because they said they're under 12. If they were 12, then they could do something.
That's not the best excuse.
They said that they're not even going to have CPS go over to their house.
Yeah, that's not the best excuse. If it happened 2 years from now, then we would do something. But since it happened, no.
I'm really pissed off about this.
No, I think you have every right to be.
I mean, that's just like Dustin's friend who their son was 10 and forced a kid on the school bus. And there's video of this to give him head, and nothing happened.
I wonder how that kid is. Like, poor thing.
I was under the assumption that he was actually a foster kid, and that's why nothing got done. But now I know better.
Yeah.
It's not because he was just a foster kid.
Well, and regardless of the reason, even if he was a foster kid, something should have happened.
That even makes it worse, actually.
Yes. No, I agree. The judicial system could use some work. Although, in my story today, it's actually not a problem of the judicial system at all. But it is a weird ass story that I don't understand.
Okay, let's hear it.
All right, you want to hear? All right. I'm going to talk about the story of Judy Smith. Judy was born December 15th of 1946 in Massachusetts. Now, Judy was 50 years old at the time our story takes place in 1997. She worked as a home health nurse in a suburb outside of Boston. She was a newlywed, being married for the third time. Her first husband had run away to Sweden to avoid being drafted. Yeah. Sweden. I wonder, it makes me so many questions.
Why Sweden out of everywhere?
Did he have Swedish background? Did he have family in Sweden? Why Sweden?
That's kind of odd.
You always hear about people running to Canada, but Sweden. And then her and her second husband had 2 kids, but, in the end, things just didn't end up working out. So she dated Jeff Smith for 10 years before they got married. So she had been dating him for a long time, but they'd only gotten married about 5 months prior to where our story takes place.
Okay.
And I guess if it's your third marriage, I can see why you take some time before you go there. Was heading to Philadelphia to attend a conference. And they decided that she would come along and do some sightseeing while he was at his conference, and then they could spend the evenings together and whatnot. So on April 9th of 1997, they were heading to the airport. And when they got to the airport, Judy realized she had forgotten her ID, so she couldn't get on the flight. And so they decided that he would get on the flight and she would go home, get her ID, get on a later flight, and they would meet up at the hotel. All right. Now, when I was first hearing of this story, I kind of assumed this is where things would take a turn, but it isn't. And it boggles my mind. Later in the story, this will come back up to me. Okay, Judy goes home, gets her ID, and gets on a flight, and the 2 meet up, and everything's fine. So Judy gets on a later flight, gets to Philadelphia, and they wake up the next morning, the morning of April 10th of 1997, and Judy plans to go sightseeing while Jeff is at the conference. So they're going to meet up before there's a cocktail party that evening. So they're going to meet up to get ready. Now they plan to meet up at about 5 p.m. to get ready to go. Okay? So that evening, Jeff's running a little late and he returns to the hotel room about 5:30. Okay? And he's surprised to find that Judy isn't there. Now, Judy was typically the type that was on time, but, she wasn't driving her own car, so he figured maybe there was a delay, she's out sightseeing, maybe something happened, so he didn't worry too much. 6:30 comes around, though, and he still hasn't heard anything from her, and so he begins to get nervous, right? So he checks along all of the places that she was going to go sightseeing, and he doesn't find anything. All right. He reports her missing to the police, and people go out looking for her, right?
All right.
He even hires private investigators, multiple private investigators, to go look for her. And no traces are ever found. No traces are found. She's just gone. Okay. No word comes for 5 months. All right. 5 months later, hundreds of miles away in North Carolina, a father and son are out hiking in the mountains. and they come across remains of a partially buried skeleton that forensics would find to be Judy Smith. It's like 700 miles between Philadelphia and where she was found in North Carolina. Judy had been stabbed to death. Now, next to her were a blue backpack and some sunglasses that are believed to be the killers. Okay, so now here's something even weirder. Judy was dressed appropriately for hiking, as though she had been prepared to take a hike on the day that she died. Now, it isn't likely that the motive was robbery because her wedding ring and $167 in cash were found on her remains. Okay, now, so they obviously were talking to some people in the city nearest this trail. They had seen Judy. She had come into the stores, and she seemed alert. She seemed to know who she was and where she was. She had even mentioned that her husband was at a conference. But how she ended up in North Carolina and how she ended up hiking and how she died doing so, I don't understand. So
that's a weird one. I don't know about you, Brie, but I'm really excited. So we are supposed to be getting in the next few days our Meet Cute boxes in the mail.
I am always excited. You know how hard it is to find a good date night, especially with kids and, needing to be at home. I'm always looking for fun things to do at home.
Oh, exactly. And then this makes date night fast and easy. And on top of that, they look really fun. We're actually going to do it in box opening. And the best part is, guys, is if you like what you see, well, we're doing a giveaway as well. So feel free to check that out on our TikTok.
Yes, and we will be doing those boxes. So keep your eye out and we'll open them and you can see what they are. And then make sure to join our giveaway. Jeff is not a suspect in this case. And he passed away in 2005, so he unfortunately will never know what happened to Judy. Now, Judy's daughter thought that she maybe developed amnesia or had some sort of problem and wandered off.
Okay.
But I don't know if that was before or after, because now we know that the store attendant said that they had talked to her and she seemed to know who she was, know who her husband was and where he was. And it is highly suspected that she went to North Carolina on her own. And I don't understand why she would go there when she did. If she planned on running away to North Carolina, why did she go to Philadelphia after she forgot her ID? It's so weird to me because wouldn't you use the ID as an excuse?
And did she have any friends or a family member that were in that area?
Not that I know of.
So weird.
Okay, if she wanted to go to North Carolina, why would she have gone to the airport, forgotten her ID, gone back to the house, and then still gone to Philadelphia? Why wouldn't she have just gone to North Carolina then, if this were all her plan and her decision? Why would she have gone to Philadelphia and then the next morning gotten on a plane to North Carolina?
My first thought is another lover.
Maybe.
Or maybe even she met someone online that she was...
I mean, it was 1997, so there wasn't a lot of internet like that. She definitely could have planned to meet up with someone, though. But it's still weird to me that she forgot the ID and then went to Philadelphia and met up with him. And so then is the person she went to meet up with the person who killed her? Or is that just a weird chance? A couple of the theories we have here, or really there's only one, is that some believe it was Gary Michael Hilton, who is a serial killer known for killing in national forests. And he did, have some known murders in the general area, in the general time span. So some people think it could have been him. Okay. So there's theories that she just wanted some time away from Jeff, which once again is fine, but I still don't know why she would go to Philadelphia. I don't know. That part bugs me. But so she wanted some time away. She went hiking, and then a serial killer saw a woman alone and killed her.
Is there any other killings around that area?
Not at the same time, I don't think. No.
Well, sometimes serial killers they spread them out.
Yeah. That's why some people think it was him, because he has been known to be in that general area, and it was his like go-to to kill people in national forests.
Okay.
But still, so weird. Like,
why was she going there?
Why did she go to North Carolina? Why didn't she want to tell Jeff? Like, from the sounds of it, if she had been like, I really don't want to go to your conference. You go and enjoy. I'm going to do some hiking. He probably would have been okay.
Yeah.
I just don't understand. And I don't understand why she went back to the house, got her ID, and then went to Philadelphia. Like, was that her, like,
that
goodbye?
Is weird.
Like, it's so weird to me if she planned this whole thing, why she would do that.
Fair.
So, yeah, this one just is so weird to me because no one knows why she went to North Carolina. No one knows who killed her. It wasn't Jeff. He had a pretty solid alibi. Well, and I wonder, too, because, okay,
so what do other people think as to why she went there?
Like I said, most people just think she wanted a separate vacation.
Understandable.
But once again, we don't know why she didn't tell anybody. Like, even if she didn't want to tell her husband, why wouldn't you tell your daughter?
Maybe it was just like a spare of the, moment thing. I mean, back then it was, you have pagers, but
like, it seems like, okay, because there were people who would talk to her. So I think she was in North Carolina at least a few days before she was killed. So Jeff was probably already looking for her before she was dead. That one isn't proven. That's just my theory.
Right.
But
that's kind of odd.
They can't, they can pinpoint an approximate, but they can't determine within those like a couple of days from her body.
Right.
But it sounds like she was maybe around the town for a few days. So he probably noticed before she was dead.
Possibly. Okay, that bugs me.
One of those ones that, yeah, it bothers my brain because it's like, what was she doing? Why did she do that? Did she just happen to want to take a separate vacation and then come across the serial killer? Is that really what happened? Or was she meeting someone out there for some weird love affair?
So weird.
It is just such strange circumstances.
So strange. I don't fully understand that.
Well, if she was off having an affair, I guess it just shows you if she had stayed with her husband, she'd probably still be alive. If she had just stayed in Philadelphia.
Yeah.
I guess our lesson is always let people know where you are.
Exactly. Let as many people as you can know where you are.
And if you do want to leave your partner, it's okay to tell somebody like your daughter and, still let somebody know where you're going. It's just so weird. Why couldn't she have called someone when she got to town? Like if they had phones still. It was 1997. They still had phones.
True. Well, unless she didn't want her daughter to know because she didn't want her to know that she was leaving him or something.
Or maybe she didn't think she was leaving him. Maybe she was going to have the affair and then go back and just be like, oh, sorry, I just wanted to go for a hike or something. I don't know.
Yeah, that could be it too.
So maybe she wasn't leaving him. She really just wanted to go hiking. I don't know. It's still weird.
Is there any other theories that other people have?
The only other one I saw, and it was on like Reddit, so you know how it is on Reddit, but some people think that when she went back to the house to get her ID, that someone talked to her then and like forced her. So they were like, you are going to listen to me. Tomorrow, you're going to go do this. And that someone was like blackmailing her. So there is that theory that it was blackmail. And so that happened when she went back to the house, is like that's when they contacted her because then Jeff was gone so they could get to her alone.
Possibly.
But that's the only other one I've heard, is that she was being blackmailed.
It doesn't fit. I don't know what would.
No, nothing fits. It's weird. Just deciding to go hiking in North Carolina and not telling anybody and then randomly being killed. A relatively brutal death and not being robbed. Like it wasn't a motive for money. She had $167 cash on her. What was their motive of killing this woman?
First of all, I think we need to go back to the question of what the crap is she doing there?
Agreed. I don't understand why she went to North Carolina. Who just goes to North Carolina unplanned?
No.
And I mean, I imagine, like, they probably don't release this, but I imagine if she did get on a flight, they may even have, like, flight information and stuff.
Yeah.
If she boarded a flight willingly, I don't think she probably drove there.
You said you don't think, so they don't know for sure?
They might, but they haven't released it. They haven't said anything about,
a vehicle, like, or anything.
A vehicle or flights or her cards even, which makes me think that they probably could track her cards or flights or things, and just haven't told anybody, because some things they don't tell in open cases.
That's true. That's true.
But I do imagine her husband probably had that information, unless she was keeping secret cards and stuff. But once again, I would imagine that that law could still get access to those. Like I said, she was wearing her wedding ring, so it's not like she hated him enough to, like, take that off, because it was noted she was wearing the wedding ring.
This is kind of... I'm just...
the weirdest case ever.
I'm very confused. Like, I don't even know where to go with this.
I mean, you wouldn't tell your husband that you wanted to go sightseeing in Philadelphia and then randomly go to North Carolina by yourself?
No.
And chat friendly with, clerks telling them that your husband was at a conference?
Makes me think that she was dropped off there, but then the fact that she's wearing these hiking clothes.
Like she had planned to go hiking, yeah. She was wearing attire appropriate for hiking.
I don't even know.
Isn't it weird? Yeah. This is one of the weirder ones I've researched. Like, I kept on wanting to find something to make it make sense, but nothing made it make sense.
It doesn't make sense at all.
Like, sometimes, you know how people ask and they're like, if you could have dinner with someone dead, who would you have dinner with? I want to have dinner with Judy. When I ask Judy what the hell was going on.
Yeah, like, what was going through your head and what was going on?
Why did you go to North Carolina? Who killed you? Were your intentions to go back to Boston where you worked and had, a husband and children?
Yeah.
Or were you renting out? Like, I don't understand.
I don't know. This one's weird.
Right?
It's weird. I don't know.
Yeah. Well, if anyone has any thoughts or theories on Judy, please feel free to message us at crimetheoriespodcast@gmail.com. We would love to hear some theories as to what people think happened to Judy.
Yeah.
Because I have no idea.
And guys, as always, too, you can check us out on any of our social media platforms, Crime Theories Pod, on TikTok, Instagram, Facebook. Those are the main three that we kind of keep up on. The other ones are kind of fan-made, but feel free to check them out too. And yeah, and if you guys have any theories or anything like that, feel free to send those to crimetheoriespodcast@gmail.com. And if you guys haven't been checking out our TikToks, you guys are missing out because we've been doing some lives too and pulling up some stuff that we have talked about on it. So feel free to go check those out too.
Yep, go take a look and watch for our lives. We try to each go live at least once a week. Adrian typically sometimes goes more, so
I try to.
But keep your eye out.
Yeah.
You can always ask us questions or even tell us your theories there.
So, yeah, always. And as always, guys, just keep
fucking
going. So, spooky season is here. And that means that, you know what? You guys need to get on Hunt a Killer.
It is a great way, as temperatures are theoretically going to start cooling down, to spend a little more time inside.
Yeah, for sure. Well, what great way to, start up the spooky season by finding out your own little mystery. It's a mystery box that comes to you monthly, and Hunt a Killer is just a great way to help pass the time and get into that spooky season. So guys, use code theories and you guys can get 20% off any of your mystery boxes. I'll go ahead and link it down below. So check it out. That's Hunt a Killer.